Is it? Hey, what's up? It's Friday. What am I doing here on my Friday, my precious Friday evening? Easter holiday messed everything up, so we're doing the Thursday stream on Friday and the Friday stream on Thursday, right? I hope that makes sense. Yesterday was today, and today is yesterday. That should clear things up for everybody. Tried the lichess puzzle rush today. It's extremely hard. Is this like lichess version 2 or something like that? That I haven't. The lichess version 2 beta? Man, it's. I can't wait to go back to the United States. It's not as hot there as here. It feels like summer where I'm at in my office right now. Anyway, we're just trying to get into a good positive frame of mind. Yesterday was kind of I had kind of a crappy night. I was in a bad mood all night when I was playing poker. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just under a lot of stress or something, but I was just kind of in a bad mood in yesterday's game, and eventually I got so angry I had to leave. There's no way to spend your weekend. I gotta be able to find a positive frame of mind, guys. So hopefully we'll reach that today. Someone on sound, Clash Kid, Acerbate, 22 months for Clash Kid subscribed. That's really weird, Clash Kid, because I would swear that like we just saw you subscribe for 21 months, like in the last couple of days. But I don't know, maybe it was just because I clicked on you, it said how many months you had subscribed. I'm not really sure. I guess I trust you that it was time to subscribe, but Clash Kid is definitely one of the you just ran out and now I extended. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm good. I believe that they're probably not making you resubscribe after 3 days. It's just weird. I thought I just saw you had subscribed for 21. All right, but anyway, thank you for the subscribing. And today is our deeper meaning of chess stream. The meaning of chess. Finding the meaning of chess. A little bit of a philosophical sort of attention grabber there. We're actually doing game analysis, and this is our subscriber stream. So what's up, someone on sound? Acerbate. We've got 7 viewers so far. Panda's with us. We're gonna do game analysis. I've got a lot of submissions for the game analysis for this week. Normally I don't stream on Friday nights, as you may or may not know, but I switched my Thursday and Friday around. As I said, so Friday stream game analysis. This is really Thursday. It's not really Friday. Just your mind playing tricks on you. Acerbate, Big Money, Jim, Alms, Pawn Pusher 99, Merle Dixon, Summit on Sound, and Yabatis. That's the subscriber submissions I've got for game analysis today. It's hot as balls in here. It's like I feel like I live in the attic or something, like a summer house with no ventilation. I'm so happy that I'm going back to the United States because summer in Budapest, like without air conditioning, is just brutal. It's hard to believe that this is further north, latitude-wise, than Massachusetts, where I live in the United States. But it's incredibly hot here in the summer, so I'm very happy about that. Panda League. Does Panda have a rating? I don't know. Like Panda might get his own account and start playing. Very possible. Panda's been asking me to get him an account so he can play, but I'm basically concerned he's going to get drunk and trash his rating. So we're going to enjoy our Friday night. I got really pissed yesterday because this total donkey, just like slow rolled me in an Omaha pot, and it was the last straw. I had a really bad night, and I was not because I was losing, but I just was in a bad mood. I wasn't really losing in poker last night, but just I can't stand when people are like unsportsmanlike, even in any game, like if it's poker, chess, whatever, it's just like people flagging you in chess with rook against rook. There's no room for bad sportsmanship in any game. Hopefully we'll get a good vibe going on tonight. Unicorn 99 challenged me. Yeah. Okay, nope. Friday I normally take challenges, but not today. This is the evening. We're doing our Thursday subscriber stream on Friday. So let's get started. Astrobate is here. Ponda is 1500 question mark, no doubt. That's how he would start out. Let me get to Astrobate's submission here. All right, Astrobate, no. Astrobate, where's your submitted game? It's hard. I have to dig back in all my emails here. My secret emails. Okay, Friday will be stream submission. It's not here. Where is it? Astrobate. Where is your stream submission? Must be way back. Where is it? God, is it there? I guess that's it. Thursday commentary stream submission. What do you think about Mark Dvoretsky's endgame manual? Is there an easy way to find out what the 9 squares are? The Real Gambit. I haven't really had time to go through that book. Honestly, to be honest with you, it looks good. But I've been busy over the last like 4 years since I purchased that, and I haven't had time to really go through it. It has a good reputation. I haven't really done the work on it, so I can't answer your question fairly. So Clash Kid said, one bad beat can turn a smile on your face into a damaged screen. It wasn't just a bad beat. The guy we were playing Omaha, and the guy's this terrible player. I don't care, you know, but he was like on the surface very friendly, and then I never did anything to him ever, and it was like I played with him a couple times, but he was like, well, if you have a flush, you win. And I'm sitting there like, I have this week full house, and I don't really want to show it down first if I don't have to, because I figure it might not be strong. But the guy is like usually honest, and I'm like, okay, I have a small full house, you know, and he's like waiting like a minute, and then he's like showing me like a bigger full house. I just lost my shit. I totally had like an anger attack. I've been pretty good lately, but I was just pissed. Hopefully we'll have a better night tonight. I'm not gonna lose control of my emotions on the subscriber stream. I really lost my shit last night though. I got super angry. All right, let's go. Thursday submission. Astrobate. I needed to vent to get it out. This is Astrobate. Ruggiero versus Astrobate. Okay. Astrobate is black. I'm coughing again. E4, B6, D4. The new positional Astrobate. Yeah, I said he's having a transformation. He's going through a transformation. Astrobate is transitioning. E4, B6, D4, E6. I really think that maybe Bishop B7 is interesting, if you insist. Bishop B7. Bishop B7 is actually much more commonly played than E6. But I don't really know why E6 is a bad move. I don't see why it should be a bad move. It should be fine, essentially. Actually, if they play knight F3, they're probably C3. Computer likes C3 the best. Bloby, welcome. Alright, don't make me angry tonight, guys. You won't like me when I'm angry. I'm like David Banner. Is C4 bad? C4 is not bad. C4 transfers the game to an English defense rather than an Owen defense. I think the English defense is actually better than the Owen defense. So technically C4 is bad, but it's still not that bad. It's still probably advantage to white. So knight C3. I don't really like knight C3. I think bishop D3 is my preference. Caruana versus Hikaru Nakamura. Queen E2. This is the best plan for white. Mr. Coffee, great you could make it. You should be working, Mr. Coffee. There goes Mr. Coffee's new job. It's not about blocking the c-pawn, it's about the pin with bishop b4. It gives black a more effective development, I think, and the ability to put pressure on e4. When you play knight c3, we can knock it out with bishop b4 and have more direct pressure against the e4 pawn. Yeah, no, I'm like the Incredible Hulk when you make me angry. But last night I was pissed about a lot of things, and it was just like the last straw that broke the camel's back when the guy like slow rolled me. It was a horrible atmosphere all night. Why do I waste my Thursday night doing this? Okay, bishop d3 is the best move. He plays knight c3. This is also okay. And an interesting move now, a3. I mean, if you can do it in the Queen's Indian, then there's no reason why you can't do it here. Basically, Petrosian style idea, taking away bishop b4. But it's a very, the deeper meaning of chess. That's what we're looking for here. No, this is a very, on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, how constructive is the move a3? Not very. So, I mean, I think there's an argument that it's like, okay, stopping bishop b4, but otherwise it doesn't really have any constructive value, you know, therefore it's probably not white's best move. When I played this position once, I guess I just played knight f3 or bishop d3. Okay. But interesting, you know, but a3 should give black time to choose a more active plan. The hippo, acerbate, I think you ought to seriously consider here. Full hippo. g6, bishop g7, knight e7, d6, knight d7, and then h6 and a6 as needed. It's like when you go to the pharmacy and your doctor gives you a prescription, it says take as needed, how many you need, but only as needed. a6 and h6 are as needed moves, okay? You don't do them unless you have to. In other words, maybe you don't play h6 unless white plays like h4. All right, knight f6. Yeah, acerbate likes to do this, but in this case, because white played a3, white's position is not quite as good as usual. So even Mr. Bauer, the expert on the Owen defense, played this against Mr. Ivanisevic. Bishop d3. And now you can turn it into a Sicilian with c5, a Cham Sicilian. If the plan leader is bishop d3, why you don't start with knight f3 instead of knight c3? Well, I mean, some people subscribe to that, but I think it's a matter of overprotecting e4 as fast as possible, Clash Kid. So knight f3 doesn't overprotect e4. If you play bishop d3 and queen e2 first, you overprotect e4 more quickly, and you can wait with knight f3. But the important thing is that you protect e4 as much as possible. Petrosian principle of overprotection of the strong point. Okay. Who you fan versus Gaia Magami? I really like Gaia Magami. He's a great player, but I guess he went too far playing the Owen defense. Okay, bishop d3. This is too passive for black, Mr. Acerbate. You must get central control. Either c5 or French type approach with d5, but you better do it now. Walter Trumpf, distant relative of our, I don't want to say it. Anyway, I think that's a correspondence, but maybe not. Is it a correspondence player? That guy actually plays the, what's it called? I only know this guy's name, this Trumpf guy, because he plays the, what's it called? The gambit with d4 and e4. The Blackmar Deemer. Like, not too many people play the Blackmar Deemer, but Walter Trumpf does. Stupid name, stupid opening. Okay, bishop e7. Now h3. They're like bookends. h3, utterly, you know, pointless. Acerbate, you must control the center. Just because you started out with a hyper-modern opening doesn't mean you should never move a central pawn. Again, as needed. This is not needed now. a6 is not needed here. The engine likes the hippo, the half hippo, acerbates d6, but I think you should play more actively and try to get some Sicilian, like a good Sicilian here, or at least a decent Sicilian where a3 and h3. The guy's gonna fart around with those moves. I mean, let's make it a Sicilian. All right. I mean, the golden thing is that he doesn't seem to have d5. If he doesn't have d5, then c5 is really good. It's the same thing in the Queen's Indian. When white has d5 as a sort of pawn sack, then c5 is not really good. But if he can't play d5 effectively, you could even turn it into a St. George with a6. I wonder, can we take this pawn, get away with it? What's the point? Queen f3. Oh no. Oh no. It's a Tamir Nabati like tactic. Knight takes e3, queen b7. We try to trap the queen. That's not going to happen. So we can't take the pawn. Oh god. But you could play a Benoni. It's a bad Benoni though. I don't like this so much. a6. And then what? We can't get it in. I don't know. Then maybe c5 is kind of sketchy. Anyway. Alright, a6. Preparing c5. Knight f3. And then again. You can also play d5 though. This is not a bad, not such a bad French. You played Diemer in Montpellier in 1985. Wow. That's crazy. He was an extreme rightist. Extreme anybody who would play the Blackmar Diemer, let alone invent the opening. He was extremely something. He was definitely extreme. I don't know much about, historically, this player Diemer. I guess the European players might know more. I probably know more about Ken Smith than Blackmar. Blackmar or Diemer. Okay. So, d5. Okay, yeah, that'd be cool if someone on sound. Good idea. d6 to half hippo. Okay, it's like a hedgehog. It's not that bad for black. But without the kingside fianchetto, your king, you know, we've talked about this before, Asterbait, and you've let me do this before, a very strong e5. We've seen this a lot from Asterbait, allowing e5 too long. At least he played it finally, c5. Now white needs to go e5, try to drive your knight away from the kingside, so he can have some kingside threats. But how strong a player was Diemer? Now it's a great Sicilian for black. You just went from Owen defense to a Istvan Cham style Sicilian. And knight takes will probably pick off his bishop on d3. Actually, that's not always a good capture though. So I would only consider BC or knight takes c5. But if you play BC, your structure might go south. BC e5. We have to be concerned about this. There's a hippo theme. Bishop takes f3. I've had people's like whole centers fall apart when I play the hippo and they allow some sort of bishop takes supporting knight on c3 or f3. The whole thing is like a demolition team. He'll lose control of e5 there. So you have to be careful about e5, but you could play BC as well. And that's what you did. But knight takes is fine too. Like lower maintenance, the less pawn moves you make, the less weaknesses you have, the less responsibility. He was mainly talking of Nostradamus after our game. He was a very strong player. He drew against me. Bloby, I love it. Knight takes c5. This is a very compact move. And I like the position of the knight on c5. And you've got an imbalanced pawn structure. We'll continue to play like hippo or hedgehog. All these animals we talked about. Anyway, okay, BC's not bad. He plays e5. Aha. So you had that knocking out the foundation move with bishop takes f3. I don't blame Asterbait for not wanting to trade his bishop on the long diagonal. Pawn is a pawn. I assume knight takes, not to leave him with a strong bishop pair. Unfortunately, white probably has good chances to draw here because of the presence of opposite color bishops and the kind of broken nature of black's pawn structure. But an extra pawn is an extra pawn. Pade, we're not playing games tonight. I'm not playing any games tonight. I'm serious. I'm in a bad mood now. I was in a bad mood last night. I'm past that now. I just needed to vent a little bit. Do not slow roll against me unless I do something, you know. Okay. bishop takes, you know, if I do something nasty, I can understand it. I'm a nice guy. Don't provoke me. E5, D5, bishop E5, rook C8. Okay, Aspie, I don't understand what rook C8 is about. Aspie's simply not calculating. You could take on F3, smash his structure with a very good game. So I think that this is a good illustration. Aspie, just need to calculate more. Slow rolling and effective strategy tilt your opponent. I guess so. But it's like, you know, maybe one thing you do it in a tournament and you'll never see the people again, but I wouldn't do it in a home game where you have to play with that same player again. You're not going to make any friends. It's I equate it to like playing for time with rook against rook, essentially. I'm a really like big stickler for kind of, I don't know, good sportsmanship. I was always taught to be a good sportsman, and sometimes I've lost my lost my concept of sportsmanship. I'm not perfect, you know, but in general I try to be a good sport, chess or any other game. What's up, Spectacular Camel? Aspie not calculating. White apparently doesn't like his dark square bishop. He tried everything he could to get rid of it. Finally does. And then he drops a pawn. I guess he just realized like black was threatening all this bishop takes f3 stuff. So he was like, oh, screw that, I'll just get rid of it. And so Asterbate here, if you take with the bishop, you can smash his pawns back. We just lose a pawn here and he doesn't even see it. It's like a clean pawn. Very, very nice. Not a good position for the queen, but he had to protect the A pawn. I would prefer B6. I couldn't imagine to go play poker with friends and then play just one hand per hour because you're afraid to lose money. Where did that come from, Clash Kid? All right, Queen A5. Yeah, I don't know why you would play poker if you're afraid of losing money. Probably you should try something else. Rook on A to D1, Queen A5, or Queen B6. Although here the queen will get attacked by Knight E5, Knight C4, possibly Knight A4. No, I mean slow rolling is when you pretend you have a weaker hand, you have the winning hand. What it means is like you have the winning hand and you don't show it down right away. You wait until the other guy like thinks he's winning. You pretend like I've got nothing, and then you let the other guy show down his cards so that, you know, you don't say anything. You pretend like you have nothing. And then at the last minute you're like, "Oh no, by the way, I have like royal flush," you know. And you win the pot and you make them feel bad. And it's like trolling the other guy basically, you know. That's what it means. So that's what the guy did against me. It was horrible. In a friendly game. I mean, that's the whole point, you know, not in some casino, but a friendly game with friends, and it's not really high stakes and there's no reason to do that, you know. I was like, what? Whatever. Anyway, okay, Queen A5, Bishop C4, Rook F8, D8, Rook D8, Knight E5, Queen C7, back to C7. Good eye. So this hits the knight. F4. Glad you clarified that, Clash Kid. So we understand. Trying to make them suffer as much as possible instead of just, you know, showing you got it, you show it down, you win, and that's it. Rook D4, good active move. The sound cut out. Hopefully not. the reason for that to happen. Oh no. Oh no. No sound? Oh no. The sound is back. That means the Windows just randomly cut the sound thing down to 88 again. Now we have to go through and find, oh, man. All right. System. Oh man, who knows? Ooh, it's hot in here too. Hold on guys, we're gonna try to fix the sound. Okay, system. No. Wait. So let's see. Settings. Computer management. Let's try settings. System. Sound. Other sound options. Device properties. Maybe. Levels. No. What's this? That's my speaker. No. Microphone. Device properties. No, it's on 100. I don't get it. There shouldn't be any sound problem. Sounds back, lower volume, and sounds a tad distorted. There's absolutely nothing that happened. Settings are not an 88 like it does sometimes. Okay, let's try. Check. It's 100 degrees in here. There's nothing wrong with the connections. The system usually shuts itself down to 88 out of 100, but it didn't do that, so I really don't have a clue. Everything were going along fine, and suddenly my sound level changed. I don't know why. Hello. 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 How do I sound now? Can you hear me now? Hello. Hello. But I'm like yelling practically. Man, it's like unbelievable hot here. I need this. I need to get the fan. Man, time for the wife beater to come out. Whew, it's hot in here. Someone on sound. I think you're responsible. Do you think it's just coincidence or his name is somewhat unsound? And he's donating 50. I need some serious air conditioning here. You see what I did there? Okay guys, let's get the bit battle going. Someone on sound got it started. Alright, Acerbate, great job. Rook d4, getting active. White played f5. Now bishop d6 is really strong, but you found an even stronger move. Nice job. Wow. This is a brave move because white's opening up pressure on the f file, and acerbate just sticks the knight on e4, almost like inviting a sacrifice on f7. The best move was knight f7. And that would have been scary, but apparently okay for black. Bit war. Okay, let's get through this. So knight e4, really strong move. White undermined his own knight, essentially. But I think acerbate was actually gunning for this. Knight g3 tactic, if I know him. He's got multiple tactics. Queen e5, knight g3. White undermined his own knight, essentially. Now he just lost a piece. I'm just trying to see if we have another threat. Hide behind the pawn. Human shield on f7. White's... Ooh, rook d2 is coming. Ouch. When acerbate gets his claws into the opponent there, he usually takes him out. He's got him on the hook now. Still no clear crushing blow. This will do it, but yeah, you had bishop d6, it looks like, bringing in new ideas. Queen h2 mate, that's a little better. So he can interpose on d5 now. He didn't bother with that. Rook g2 should suffice, so he wins. Just material. That's a lot of pieces ganging up on white. All right, acerbate. You kind of hung out until you got an opportunity and took advantage of it. He's getting away. No. All right, good job, man. All right, that was a long analysis, but I was telling stories, and we had the bad beat, crying about my, not bad beat, but my slow roll guy. I just don't like when it's like a friendly game and people are doing unsportsmanlike stuff. I don't need that aggravation. Okay. So, acerbate, thank you. Big Money's up next. I don't know if Big Money's here, but got the submission. Thursday substream. Today's Thursday. You guys do know that, right? Oh no. Game 4. I'm good with the reading comprehension. It's unclear if Big Money's here or not, but we're not synced. I hope that's okay with him. Big Money here. Did he say what color he was? Come on. I'm black. All the information you need. You just need to read it carefully. I should have got that. When I did my SATs, I should have gotten that help, like from those Hollywood celebrities and stuff. Railbird80, thanks for being a subscriber. Okay. Big Money's black. He plays c5. This nomenclature of Old Benoni, I'd like to meet the person who made that up, because in my experience, I don't recall this being named the Old Benoni anywhere, but someone just arbitrarily at the place that makes this thing called it that, just took it upon themselves to name the opening. I don't think that exists, Old Benoni. Okay, so d4, c5, d5, knight f6, and now c4, dubious inaccuracy. That's ridiculous. It's a good move. It's up to you. Knight c3 is also a good move, but I think they're both good. It's crazy to call c4 an inaccuracy and a dubious move. Stockfish going crazy. This is kind of the professional move, but c4 is fine. Clash Kid. 666 bits to take the lead with a set of 6s. All right, Thanks a lot, Clash Kid, and for being a subscriber for 22 months. That is awesome. I think only Move 11 and Nefidov are similar in how many months they subscribed. Tushar Camdefan is what? Is challenging me. Poor Tushar Camdefan thinks it's Friday. Anyway, thanks, Clash Kid. Today is Thursday, Tushar. It's not Friday. Spectacular Camel subscribed for 10 months. Bob, you can't think outside the box. You don't get my messages? Today's Thursday and yesterday was Friday in our world. So, c4, e6. It's a Benoni. Knight c3, e takes d, c takes d, d6. And now the ever-popular bishop f4. This move is more commonly played maybe on the next move after knight f3. So if we go knight f3 first, wait for black to play g6, and then play bishop f4. See, that's the thing, that black commits to this fianchetto. It's like bishop wants to go to g7, you fake him out, and then you go bishop f4. But black hasn't played g6 yet. So maybe black just is like, okay, screw it, then I won't play g6. Or maybe it's just a really interesting move. It makes you ask yourselves the question, did ancient aliens really begin the human race? Yeah. 145 bits for... Man, that's cheap, Bob. I'm going to change the whole concept of the stream for 145 bits. I mean, why don't Americans get a blitz stream? Don't worry, Bob, I'm coming home in 3 weeks. We're going to be on American time again. So bishop f4. Oh man. No, I don't want to break the continuity of the subscriber stream, Bob. I get into a kind of rhythm, and I don't like breaking to do blitz games. So a6 looks like a good move. A4, and now g6. I mean, looking at these statistics make you ask yourself the ancient aliens question. Maybe this is a really good idea for white. What's up, Jim? So this is kind of cool, though most likely we're going to transpose to something. Predrag Nikolic. If knight f3, we have the massive transposition, that's all. Just a transposition. I guess there's nothing special white can do other than transpose. I don't like h3. I don't know about queen d2. The only other move that makes sense is like e4. Here's some games. There is a very important variation in this line with like queen a4 check, you know. In the bishop f4 lines with queen a4 check. And that kind of like isn't possible after this. If we go back to knight f3, g6, bishop f4. If a6, a4 anyways. Okay. On the bishop g7, then it's queen a4 check. So we're just transposing to a normal line, except white plays e3, which is feeble. Wow, 500... What's wrong, Astrobate? 500 bits donated by Jim. And actually, Jim's got his game coming up next. For another 500, we'll do your game next, Jim. You can use the nils system. Jim, for another 500, we can move you up in the stream to the next position. Actually, Jim just got to first in the bits leader spot with the 500. Clash Kid is out. with a satanic 666. Clash Kid is 7. God is 7. The devil is 6. At least according to the Pixies. So E3, passive. So apparently knight H5 traps his bishop. That's a strong move. Eliminate that nasty bishop. Okay. I think King's India and Benoni players would probably spot this. It's also one of the reasons why E3 is probably not a good move. You don't want my games next? Your game? It's not important, anything important anyway. You are next, whether you like it or not. I can be bribed to make it later, though. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Bishop G7. Another chance to play knight H5. I guess this game was already pre-analyzed by the engine. Let me turn the engine off. Castles. Still knight H5. I mean, this is a really strong move. Because anyway, you need like the E5 square, typically, in the Benoni. But you don't like the pressure on your D6 pawn. I think that's great. Big money shouldn't miss that. White should have played H3 to stop knight H5, you know, to allow for bishop H2. Spectacular Camel with 100. And Clash Kid takes first place with 777. Another set. 2 sets in a row. Queen C7, castles, and now C4. So C4 is always a double-edged move in the Benoni. Typically, the drawback is very serious that you give up the D4 square to white pieces. The positive, of course, is like the long-term advancing of the queenside majority for black. The advancement. Association for Advancement of Queenside Pawns. The American Association for Advancement of Queenside Pawns. The National Association for Advancement of Queenside Pawns. NAAQP. The NAAQP. Okay, C4, bishop C2, knight on BD7, and now rook to C1. Not a very appealing counter. Knight C5, B4. Well, we're going to take, and what's happening now? White doesn't seem to like his bishops very much. He let this one get trapped. Now this one over here, he's going to let it go. So this is an over the board game. We didn't really talk about it. Jim donated 100. He's going up to 800 just to get ahead of Clash Kid for the bit war today. I'm going to have to open the window more, man. It's extremely hot in here. You guys are going to hear the birds chirping and everything. A serious bird population on the roof. Pigeons, other kinds of birds. Must be like 25 degrees. All right. All sorts of donations, guys. Jim's up to 800, Clash Kid with 777. So what's up with the bishop, with this guy? The bishops. If the knight is strong on C5, do we want to take that? Pawn like bishop. Donation. Did I hear donation? What? That's just delicious. You got to take that pawn. Oh, you can't. My bad. All right, my bad. Let's just delete that from analysis. It's actually in there. Queen A5, bishop D6. All right. Can't resist the delicious pawn. No. We need to protect it. So again, knight H5. This position is just golden. Alexander Golden. Okay, you'd have bishop G5 maybe. And this little threat here. So on Queen A5 we still have a problem. I mean, black's pretty active, but I don't see anything. If we lose the base, it's going to be quite a dynamic position. And we do have outside pawn potential. Obviously, it's a Benoni. We're queening on A1. So even this is probably good for black. Big money. This is big money. Big moony. Might be worth it to trade the D6 pawn for the A pawn, actually. Big money took his time getting around to knight H5, but it's a good plan. And pawn takes, and that's just... Each pawn is worth about 5 points of material, I think. Man, this is over. It's just over. +5 for black. So big money decides to just get randomly speculative for fun. But it's like a who can blame him. Wow. Double question mark. I don't agree. It looks pretty good, actually. He goes from like +5 to +4. Why not B6 right away after A5? No, I mean, I think he did the right thing. I mean, actually taking this thing probably would have been interesting. I think the value of both of these pawns is very, very high. B6 leaves us with just one outside pawn. I mean, I agree it's possible, Clash Kid, but I think it's kind of minimalistic. You know, you're still better, but now you only have one passed pawn. If you win the A pawn outright, like in the game, you get a crushing duo. So he gets fancy, basically, with bishop takes c3, but it's actually probably winning for black. Because you're going to win the queen, and then bishop takes a5, you have to put the rook back on f1, and there's this like nightmarish sort of situation where black can actually play bishop b5 and pin that to e2. Something Larry Christensen would do in Blitz just to torture his opponent. This is what it looks like to me. It's like handicapping to torture the opponent. And bishop b5. White is like paralyzed and there's no way out. What do you do now? What do you do now? Clash gets up to 9.99 and teetering on the edge of a blue-green diamond or whatever it is. Bob, we have a certain amount of subscriber games, and we can't get to them all if I start doing Blitz games. That means some of the subscribers won't get their games analyzed. They've submitted the games in advance and stuff. All right, Clash Kid with 222 up to 9.99. G3, knight takes b3. It's too much material. And you've got the queen side. Ooh, that's brutal. No chance for white here. Well, there's one chance, of course, getting mated like on h6 with a pawn on f6. Then undefended bishop. White should try f6, I guess, at some point. How fast is this pawn queening, actually? Pretty fast. There's f6, our only hope. White's only hope to mate on g7. But you can always just attack. The minute that he goes queen h4, you play bishop at c3, and he can't do anything. That's what happens next. d6. But I'm a little scared now of the second pawn. We get it down to b2. It looks like it's just fast enough. What? Clearly you've got to play queen d3 now, or queen f1, or queen a2. Let's see. Queen a2, rook b8, queen b1, a5, d6. bishop f6, d7, a4. White resigns. It was a good game by big money. I don't think he was ever really in trouble. Teleporting pawns. Who's that? That's an Esserman comment. Space. Science fiction. Too much science fiction can do that to you. Anyway, I talk about ancient aliens. What am I? Alright, let's go. So, we'll never get to all the games if we don't move. Jim is next. Hello, Will. This game was played yesterday on the Forbidden website. It's Hikaru against Alireza Firouzja. Mistake fest with a brilliant finish. That's why I love bullet chess, because every game is a mistake fest. If you don't have time or you don't feel like it, please don't show it at all. Thanks. It's a good thing I read this in advance. Not mandatory. It was played on the Forbidden website. No, it's not bullet. Good. It's not bullet. Well, that's making it more relevant. The fact that it's not bullet is cool. It's blitz. Alright. So the young Iranian grandmaster against our hero, Hikaru Nakamura, the US chess champion for the 5th time. And Hikaru plays the French. I don't understand why our hero doesn't... I don't understand why our hero plays the Queen's Gambit Decline, for example. I think for a long time, Hikaru tried to prove himself as a really well-rounded player by playing these more passive defenses like the French and the Queen's Gambit Decline. Seems like he would just he would kill if he played, you know, just a purely open position based openings. Okay, anyway, the French is cool. There's a lot of cool variations. The sharpest is bishop b4, but I don't know if that's under a cloud, theoretically. The winner is always, like, on the verge of being refuted by theory or something. Knight f6 is much safer. And then white played bishop g5. And now we go into Gressi Chai territory. Jesse Cry territory. With the McCutcheon. That gets nice and sharp. And a lot of theory here. I don't know it that well. E5, h6, bishop d2. Okay, this is standard. Bishop takes c3, b takes c, knight e4, queen g4, g6, bishop d3, knight d2, king d2. Okay, this position is as old as the hills. I guess theory just kind of starts here. I was just thinking, like, why can't black play queen g5 check? That's probably a stupid question. It never really occurred to me before, but white is attacking, like, is this even possible? Play queen g5 check? I get it. So you take and then you play h3. You take and play g4. Take and play g4. And then you can play knight f3 and pick off that free pawn on g5. I never knew. I asked an obvious question. Okay, so c5. Starting point for theory here. I don't know much from this point. We'll have to consult with Dr. Jesse. And now h4. So I don't even know if Hikaru plays the black side of the McCutcheon or not. You know, it looks like Firouzja knows what he's doing. h4 is the main line. Now black played knight d7. Now, obviously, the d7 is not the best square for the knight. The knight on c6 influences the center. It controls 2 central squares. In the vacuum, you can see knight c6 is better. Pressuring d4. Wondered why Hikaru would choose to play knight d7. Maybe he just doesn't know it. But there's also the possibility that he has some plan. Move 11 ties the record of Clash Kid with 22 months subscribed. I think only maybe Nefedov has you guys beat. I hope Nefedov's okay, because we didn't get a submission for him. So Queen A5, Knight C6, even Bishop D7. This is like almost never played. Played by Verusian, interestingly, who lost playing this move. Now, you guys may or may not know, I mean, the whole idea is typically like bishop takes G6, rook G8 in a lot of positions. I'm not sure, you know, what the exact details of said position are. But this is the common idea, that you can pin it. You don't have to take it right away. I don't know if H5 makes a difference on these tactics. Somebody took there in that position. Wow. And Ulrich Kraus lost with black. What is that? You have any idea, Asterbait? It's weird. It's got like Soltigo's little thing on it. It says 7 messages. Is that a troll? How does Soltigo's handle look like? Is that him? Last time we thought Hikaru was Bob. How is Soltigo's name different? Mr. Coffee said that's him. I mean, anybody can, like, you know, anybody can overdose on drugs and just do crazy stuff, maybe. Could be anybody. But let's see. Yeah, we're never minding you. We're gonna assume the best of Soltigo. So Queen F4, but you never know. You might have a breakdown or something. Anybody can have a mental breakdown. I almost did yesterday. Okay, losing concentration here. It's funny, this position has been played exactly. So was this the same Soltigo who came on the stream freaking out? Then that wasn't really him the other day? Asterbait? Someone trolling Soltigo. So bishop e2, and I don't understand what happens next. This move looks very anti-positional, what Hikaru does now. But I would point to the fact, like, this is why Hikaru shouldn't play the French. Because Hikaru shouldn't put himself in a position where he can't get active play. He's so good at active chess that, you know, you're robbing yourself of your natural. You're handicapping yourself essentially by playing something like the McCutcheon with black. It's not too late to submit a game, but we're going kind of slowly, Stuk. So I'm not going to guarantee that your game gets in there. You got no guarantee today. My question is that the same Soltico who came on the other day and was like acting really weird? Bishop e2, f5. Very anti-positional. Firouzja took on f6, which I would instantly have played myself. But the engine doesn't like it. Best move is g4. Okay, this is natural. Okay, it cuts both ways. Black has backwardness here, but he gets the active knight, maybe threatening to come to e4. I don't like the e5 square. I don't like the backwardness along the e-file, but we have to keep in mind that the white king is still in a kind of sketchy place. So this is really a crazy position. Two very strong players. But again, I don't like Hikaru's opening choice. Knight e4 check. White could have sacked the exchange, according to the engine. Certainly something one would consider. Firouzja just went back. And now bishop d7, bishop f3, bishop c6. It's a little surprising white doesn't take that knight, considering how dangerous it is. And now black's fully mobilized, the white king's still trapped, the rook's still not in the game. Hoping for the h-file. I'm starting to like black here. It seems like the black king is safer, he's better coordinated. It's starting to feel like Bobby Fischer versus Bronstein. Another French. Now white sacks the exchange. I mean, what's going on like f3 here? Presumably knight f6. Yeah, I think the freedom of speech is kind of important too. So it's a really tough call there, Clash Kid. Was playing f5 worth it for black? I don't know. Move 11. But again, for a player like Hikaru, I think it's mandatory. He has to use his tactical ability. So Firouzja sacked in exchange and then played d5. Pretty strong. I guess this is forced. Now you have d6. That's a monster pawn. So what about queen back to d8? Very talented player. White and black, of course, but we know Hikaru very well. So d6, queen f7. I'm thinking queen d8 to kind of defend here. The fuchsia. Welcome. Welcome, guys and girls. It was a nice exchange sack by white. And then a very natural follow-up move with knight d4. Can't imagine what's wrong with that. There's a problem with f2, perhaps? Computer's like, king b8, question mark. No, rook hf8, question mark. The only active move black can play is a question mark. Oh, God. Oh, God. He allowed this. So Hikaru had to play king b8 first, so not to allow queen c5 check. So easy in hindsight. Queen c5 check is actually a blunder, wow. Good thing this has been pre-analyzed for me. He has to play f3, apparently. Wow. White's better with the monster knight and monster pawn on d6. Maybe not. Maybe he's not better. Maybe he's just staying alive at this point. Threatening mate. We just simply defend. It does look scary. But the virtue of Hikaru's queen f7 is that his pieces stay protected. I don't understand what just happened. So he just freaked out and went all in. The smothered mate tricks. Presumably threatening something like queen a5, a6, queen b6, brutal mates. Wow. Oh no. This is a hard move to find in time pressure. That's apparently what, the only move? The only winning move? No. The other rook move, which is hard to find too because you leave b7 unprotected. Psychologically, this was an understandable blunder. Freedom of mods usually prevails to the freedom of speech. Freedom of mods. We have free from mods here. You like the idea that Hikaru is a sub sending his games for analyzing. Well, he sort of is, because he donated like 5 subscriptions and then got one of his games analyzed. Unfortunately, the analysis is poisoned by Stockfish. Already pre-biasing everything I think here. Man, that is scary though. I mean, I probably would have blundered too. It's hard to see bishop d7. Just eliminate the offender. I mean, you're looking at this probably and then freaking out right about now. Probably black has some crazy defense like b6. I mean, what is white actually threatening now? Just to go back, I guess. All the best bullet players were in Magnus's team for World Championship preparation. He chose them based on their bullet ability. Rook f8, queen b6. Oh god. What? No, I'm glad that Jim submitted this. How many people here would have found this? Queen b6 and rook b4. An unstoppable mate with rook a4. That's insane. I mean, that'd be beautiful in a long game, but... Okay, it was all a cheapo, to be fair. It was a kind of cheapo. Hikaru was winning, you know, but it's beautiful. Okay, great game to submit. Thanks, Jim. So Arms is up next. All right, queen b6. Great game. Next game. Yeah, you'll clip the video. Maybe on another stream. Okay, random guy. Well, I think it's all about regulation, Clash Kid, and there should be regulation, but implementing it is tricky, and laws and privacy, and Twitch will have a database meltdown, and the whole world will have your passport information. It's a complicated sort of thing, you know. It's really a complicated thing. I don't know. All right, so we're doing alms next. This is my third round of Lone Wolf number 14. The ending's pretty instructive. I thought after 94 was completely on the winning side, but black could sacrifice the knight. Well, example of space advantage and lack of space. Poor Professor Moriarty. Oh, that's the old one. My bad. That explains it. I thought, man, you're really picking on Professor Moriarty. Did you make a mistake or I made a mistake? You sent the wrong game in. Then, or wait, am I doing something wrong? Oh, okay, I just go down? Wait, that's the only game there. Oh, my bad. I overpressed my position and was lost, but could escape somehow. Okay. I saw this earlier. Sorry. Let's turn this on. I don't want to see this. This analysis biases my analysis. When I see the graph and stuff, it's better not to see it. Mr. Toblerone is playing white against Alms. 2201 now in classical. Stop clock, still a little confused about the right way to send a game and a message on lichess. You'll get the hang of it. There's probably more than one way to do it. Hate knight f3. It's so hard to play something dynamic. Of course, if you play the Queen's Gambit declined, you know, you're playing the Queen's Gambit declined anyway. c4, d4. That's the best move. I mean, this is why I stopped playing c4. This move is literally so strong. Morwa drew with a 2000, and tomorrow he's playing a 2300. Morwa is playing in the French Junior Championship, like Junior Open Championship, and he's got Friday 2 more games left. It's hot in here. Thanks someone at Sound for helping. Stop clock. I can't believe how hot it is. It's the 19th of April and I'm like dying like it's summertime. So I just stopped playing c4 altogether because it's so strong. The best is b4. I played you know, g3 is just a reversed Benoni. I played e3 against s4 last week because it's like the safest move for white. Curing it with cold beer. I'm trying. Drinking beer from a coffee cup. That's not good. Review a study instead of a game. I mean, going through it. Suggesting improvements and judging the structure. That'd be too much. Well, I can try to do it quickly, Fuchsia. But I'm not sure about our time today. I don't know if we'll get there or not. If I have time, I'll try. Yeah, b4 f6. Well, b4 f6 is actually the classic move. But I don't know if you've noticed, but bishop g4 is like all the rage for black now. So there's actually 2 good moves for black. Yeah, Fuchsia, next week definitely would be fine. Yeah. So b4. But if you play this with white, I mean, if b4 is not good, then you can just hang it up and you might as well just play black every game. You know, you might as well just tell them, okay, I'll be black. Because this is essentially black. e3 sucks. You know, it's hard to even equalize with white here, I think. You got to be careful to equalize. I just stopped playing it. That's why I started playing g3. The c4 just sucks. Alright, so d4, e3, knight c6, knight d4, knight d4, e d4, queen d4, down bishop e2. I don't know anything about this. The other day on Sunday in my simul, by the way, there's a simul again this week on Sunday, guys. Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. will be the next stream. You always play the lane. Yeah, Clash Kid, of course, d4 is very strong. But you have to be comfortable with playing a Benoni type of structure. You know, it may be hard for an e4 player to adapt to playing what is essentially a Benoni? That's the question. You know, if you're an e4 player, can you handle playing a Benoni type position? But S4 had a game against me last week. I mean, knight c3 is usually played. Another Richard Palliser book, Alms, beating the flank openings. Palliser actually gives really good suggestions here for black. C6. Alms played e5 and not Alms, I'm sorry. S4 played e5, d3, knight e7 against me. This seems like a good line. But c6 is very standard. And this move I know nothing about, but I do know that I like the idea of what Alms did here with knight h6, knight f5. As an e4, knight h6 player, I really appreciate this maneuver. You know, having invented that opening, e4, knight h6, d4, d5, the 3 a.m. defense. Very serious opening. Yeah, knight h6 is the key move. I like it. Adley versus Anarkiev. So it looked like white lost most of the games. It's an equal position, but white is worse. Knight h6, d3. Alejandro Ramirez beat Shanklin in 2013. Right, and this is not a problem. We transpose. People are actually playing g4 here. That looks like something that Timur Gareev would do. Not going to catch me playing g4. Okay, it's beating unusual chess openings. I'm sorry, stop the clock, you're right. Got me. No, you got to clarify. Bad recommendation. Stop clock, beating unusual chess openings. That's correct. I got my book's mixed up. Good book, but it's dated. It's like 10 years old, like everything else I do. Okay, castles look sound. What? All the way back to d8 was played twice. I don't really like retreating the queen. Is that necessary here? Why is it necessary to retreat the queen? This bishop is okay where it is for now. I mean, it will be a little bit of a problem later on. We'll get it out, and there we'll get the rook out. But I think the g6. Andrei Karlov has dropped some rating points. He beat me with the C3 Sicilian in a Blitz tournament in Las Vegas many years ago. But that was my previous life. Student of Yevgeny Sveshnikov. But I like g6, bishop g7. It's very natural. We don't have to pull our queen off of d4 right away. So you think g4 is a thing. Some people would argue that g4 is a bad thing for white. So check out Karlov here. Knight g7, bishop e3, and now queen d8. Crazy hyper modern. This reminds me of something I looked at with Yabatis this week with Spectacular Camel. Spectacular Camel says that fianchettoing the knight on g7 is going too far. He can't be seen doing that. But I mean, we're coming to a theater near you. There's something very fragile and artificial about white's formation and the openness of his king in the long run. But okay, yeah, it's close. I mean, I'm on Karlov's side here, but it does look like white has got something. Clash hit, yes. There are many lines where you go e5 instead. That seems to be reliable. Maybe in this case, Clash Kid is right here. Maybe in this case, knight e7 is better. As much as I personally like knight h6, the knight has more flexibility from e7. If you get g4, you have some other options. White doesn't normally play bishop e2. That's absolutely correct. All right, let's see what happens. So now you go g6, having evacuated d4. It makes sense, though, the way Ahm's played it, actually. I have no problem with this. Is Hecht a grandmaster? Isn't he a grandmaster? Maybe not. Maybe he's just an IM. Hans Joachim Hecht. I don't even know who the other guy is. 2512? And that's in the old days. Diaz a GM, okay. Rookie 8. I hope I'm still 2300 when I'm old. I know some of you consider me old already, but old before my time. I'm not. Old and grumpy. F6 is a pity to have to play that, because it kind of cuts off our pressure in a way, but it also stops the pressure on e4. The knight e4, knight f6 thing could be a problem. All right. I don't like playing f6, but I guess we had to do it. Bishop h8. No. The problem is now we just have a tiny, tiny advantage. Even though black's better, it's hard. My first idea is to go here again. No, I mean, bishop h6, I tell people all the time, when you're facing the bishop pair, you have to trade off the enemy bishop pair. It's even in this case. Once I did that against Vadim Milov, where I was like, why did I do that? Why am I trading off his bishop on g7? But in this case, it makes sense because black has the bishop pair. The bishop pair will be devastating later on if he lets it sit, you know. You're better, but it's hard to win. Tripling on the d file as fast as possible. You got to watch out for the f4 break. Wow, white played b4 now. Uh-oh. Actually, he could have played c5, but that would hang a pawn. So now he's still not threatening it. Maybe he is c5. This is very frustrating. Wonder if you could take on e4 and claim some sort of advantage with like queen c3. He'll go for wholesale liquidations. I'm just thinking here, here, here. How much advantage do we have? Something. Yeah, Fuchsia, it's a nice idea to play bishop h8, and there are some extreme examples of avoiding exchanging bishops. Karpov has a great game against Sasonko, where he took a bishop on b7, put it out of play on c8 to avoid trading the bishop pair. But yeah, it's too much. So I think this is an interesting position here. So maybe you just have to like admit, you know, it's again like Alcoholics Anonymous. We admit we have a problem with bishop takes e4. We admit this. I'm proud to have found this on my own, not with the Stockfish, actually. So if we see c5 in the horizon of like 96 now, it's kind of like, well, we just have to admit we have this tiny, tiny edge. He's a little overextended, and I was basically looking for tactics like here, 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 here. I mean, you may still like end up drawing a... Oh, you actually have queen takes c4 there? Ooh, that hurts. Ouch. Juicy tactics like that. White's a little overextended. So I think that was your last chance. Maybe not your last chance, actually. He plays knight c5. Why did he play a3, actually? He had to? Because he had to. Did he have to? Yeah, because you defended, okay. You defended b7, making this takeable. And then he played a3. And now you went there. It was very logical. So if c5 you're clearly taking, he has to go here, though. And then you went there. He goes back. So how to make progress? I mean, I guess you could play b6 if you have to. Wait, I mean, you're still... Aren't you still better here? I don't really get it. Oh, the fork here. Oh, no. Yeah. That's tragic. Now what do you do? This is like a tragic blunder. What? Oh my god. Ams is lost. And he saved the game. Wow, 2 rooks against queen and knight. Man, that knight was a survivor. Do you think that the knight was as good as your bishop now? Don't you wish you had captured it before? I assume white's in time pressure. Bang. So apparently this is still winning. How does that work? How does white win this? Seriously? How does white win this? I don't even understand. Like f4, king f2, king e3? So Stockfish just doesn't understand. I mean, I'm guessing it's a draw. Like king and pawn in game. It's a king and pawn in game now, essentially. It should be a king and pawn in game. You can never make progress without sacrificing the queen for the rook and pawn, right? Yeah, it should be a draw. I don't get it. How would you get the king to d1? Yeah, but there shouldn't be any checks. Obviously, someone unsound. If white could make that happen somehow. It's a little hard to believe that white could find a way to force a check somehow, since the queen can't leave d1. I don't know, my head hurts. Mods. Alright. You get like an alarm sound or something. Still a chance to win later on. Now the computer admits it's a draw after h4, interestingly. Move 11, thanks for the donation. He liked the trolling. Wait, b5 for you? I wouldn't even have imagined like playing for a win, but that's insane. Damn. Just shows you guys. Are you having fun yet? Clash Kid with 999 bits, Jim with 800, Merle Dixon with 431. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. Thanks, Move11. Yeah, I was scared. I would have been so happy to save the game. I probably would have missed the chance to win as well. So King H2 is a mistake. I still don't believe it's a win for white. Now it's a draw. All right. Peter doesn't know how to. I don't like Stockfish's evaluations anyway. Like, it constantly has like exaggerated, overvalued evaluations of every position. It says you're like +5 when you're like +3. You're +2 when you're +1.5. It's constantly on the high side of material evaluations. Okay, got a lot of games left. Pawn Pusher, Merle, Unsound, Ubatis. And we've got only an hour and change left. I got more submissions. Oh, Stook, okay. So, where's my next one? Pawn Pusher. Don't push drugs, push pawns. They have like a bumper sticker about that. It's very cheesy. I had this bag in high school I got from the US Chess Federation. It was embarrassing. I took it to school once because I had to carry something to school. It said like, "Chess is my bag." It's like a bad bumper sticker. It was embarrassing. I regret taking that to high school, junior high or whatever it was. All right, Sparkle Horse. Here's a game for subscribers. OTB League match from Pass Pawn. Oh, we can view it in Chess Base. Pawn Pusher always comes up with the most amazing ways to view his games. All right. One day we're going to teach Pawn Pusher how to create a study and like put his games on lichess. At least we know what color he is. Oh, my eyes hurt. My eyes hurt. St. Louis. The chess capital of the world. What? Sorry? Alright. So, wizard positional against pawn passed. Can I make the board bigger? God, I love Chess Base. They really keep up with things. You hope nothing interesting happens in the lower left-hand corner. Oh my gosh. Can I make the board bigger? I guess I can. How about that? Does that help? Does that make it worse? Maybe I can. And the other thing is it probably won't let me copy and paste it. See? Thank you, ChessBase, for making such a great product. We can't even copy and paste the notation and put it somewhere else. They do that on purpose, though. God, I hate ChessBase. That's why I'll never buy another copy of ChessBase. Almost as bad as the other chess site we won't talk about. 100 bits of food for the Pondos. ChessBase. Alright, can I move it over or something? Maybe I could just move the board over to the right. What would happen if I tried to do that? Can I manually move it? Can't do that. Starger said, "It is possible. Give me the link and I will port it into lichess." Wait. Ah. No, there's no link. God, man. It's good advertising for ChessBase. Control C copies the whole game. Are you serious? Really? Would that work with chess base? Are you sure? Where's lichess? You think Control C will work? Seriously doubt that. How's that gonna work, Clash Kid? You don't have to mark the moves. Control C copies the whole game. From how? From where? Control C? This is online version. No. No, I have the same problem with Chess-Based Lite, like Chess-Based Game Reader or whatever. It's impossible to copy and paste stuff. Yeah, of course it works in the normal chess-based software. That's why I'm so sick of chess-based reader, and this is the same thing. Can somebody copy that for me? Games used here will automatically be stored in your cloud clipboard. Create an account to access. Once I sent them a message like I forgot my chess-based password, it took them like 3 months to ask me. I mean, to answer me about my chess-based password. They were a good company 20 years ago. I put the link in the chat. Now can I copy and paste it? What is that? That's not the whole game. That's only part of it. You got part of it, Clash Kid. You gotta, oh, you got it, okay. Sweet. I don't know who did it. We'll give Alms credit. We'll give all you guys credit. It is the whole game. Okay, cool. You guys did it. Thank you. So positional wizard is actually white. The Richard Palliser move order. Mr. Coffee did it. That's why they pay him the big bucks. Knight c3. Okay, so black played bishop b7. So the key moves are dc and h6. I guess Palliser's point is like bishop b4 check, knight on bd2 or something like that. Avoiding the Cambridge Springs. So positional wizard successfully avoided the Cambridge Springs variation. Didn't matter though. Pass pawn is playing the Tartakover, which is a forced draw as well. The Lasker variation is a forced draw. The Tartakover is a forced draw. I mean, I don't fear the Cambridge Springs any more than these other things. You know, everything is a problem. It's not just like the Cambridge Springs is a problem. They're all problems. The whole thing is a problem. So now we played CD, which is an old move, the Capablanca. Wow, pawn takes, aggressive. Pass pawn doesn't want to equalize. He's playing the Queen's Gambit Tartakover for a win. I respect that, but I think if you want to win, you should probably play a different defense to d4. Nakamura Magnus versus Hikaru Carlson. I mean, knight takes d5 equalizes. This is like as old as the hills. Okay, Robert James against Spassky from their 1972 match. ED5, this is risky. Every time you move a pawn, you weaken your position. The computer goes as far as to give it a dubious. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Stockfish. So rook c1. You know, sometimes I had a game like this. One of the only times I played. How did that go? I'm having this weird flashback to a game I had against Alexander Schneider, the guy who beat Kasparov. Having this flashback that I played the Tartakover against him. Somehow I put my bishop on e6. That's one of the things you can try to do. If white exchanges on d5 early, before you've actually placed the bishop on b7, some theorists claim that the bishop is better on e6. You know, so it's not as dead as it is on b7. I think there's a case for this. I'm not enough of an expert to say, does promoting a pawn weaken your position? Nope. That's not a standard pawn move. Anyway, here, castles, c5. So this is a pretty standard type of position. Karyakin loves this structure for black. Bloby, bishop e6, c5, c4, and the queenside majority. Speaking of Capablanca, that's another one of his gimmicks. Creating a passed pawn with the queenside majority in c4. Best opening for white. e4. I don't know. Fischer said e4 was best. But I don't know. I think they're all... Chess is a draw. All the openings are tough if black knows what they're doing. Okay, queen e2, knight e4. This is a good move, but again, we're back to like playing for a draw again. Trying to simplify. It seems kind of weird the way that Paschall 99 like didn't want to trade knights with knight takes d5, but now he's simplifying with knight e4. Actually, this move has a very good score, but based on 7 games, I wouldn't say it. There's too much scientific significance behind that. Ironically, black won all these games, but that's like a coincidence. It's nothing more than a coincidence, believe me. But rook e8 I kind of like. Alright, a6 obviously, controlling a6, controlling b5. That makes sense too. Simbat Putian, the young Simbat Putian, 1983. Alright, anyways, so here, Serwan lost to Bacro. That's recent. 2015? What was that? Some kind of match in St. Louis or something? That's the only thing that Serwan does, right? Collect paychecks. Bishop e7, queen e7. Informal matches. Informal private matches. Where else would Serwan have played? What is that? Maybe he played a random tournament where Bacro doesn't play either. You know, this is a funny move that you make sometimes, bishop a6. It seems ironic to trade off black's bad bishop. Wow, f5, okay. What would Botvinnik do? Maybe bishop a6 again, undermining the d5 pawn. The bishop a6 French idea? Instead of bishop e7, I don't think so. So white took on c5. I was thinking about this now. I mean, obviously black can play this, but then you just follow up. And now there would be, you know, problems with the knight coming to e5. I'm curious to see what Stockfish says. Yeah. That's the idea. Bishop, even bishop b5 is possible. Bishop a6 undermining d5. Now we have the quandary about which way to recapture. f5 was a little bit difficult. Yeah, if you could get in bishop a6, Clash Kid, I mean, theoretically, maybe it's okay. You just play e4, knight h6. It's a forced win for black. Fuchsia's, yeah, my favorite opening. You have to play e4, h6, and then d4, d5. E takes d, knight f5. That's my opening. e4, knight h6, d4, d5, e takes d, knight f5, carving out an outpost for the knight on f5. It's a hybrid between the Scandinavian and one knight h6. Anyway, all right. So black played d takes. I mean, b takes is better structurally, but this way you get a good knight. Now the d4 square is white's. Not too much time left. We got 45 minutes. Let's get on with it. But the knight's very strong. Do we have f4 ever? I don't see what we're doing. Trading off our strong knight from e4. Just gonna bring another one to e4, but okay. Obviously he can take, and then, you know, you have like a good knight against bad bishop. Black has to play along the f file there. White has to play along the c file. I mean, I think this is justified. You're gonna go here, hold f2, and just pressure black down the c line. I mean, maybe black can hold with like a passive defense style thing. But it doesn't seem like black has play. It seems like this should be worse. So the engine likes rook c2. That's the engine move. Now f4 naturally, trying to get some play. No, I don't like the way that Paschall played this game. You know, first of all, it seems like he didn't. I don't mean to diss you, but it just seems like you didn't really know if you're. Are you playing for a draw or are you playing for a win? You know, it's like you seem to teeter back and forth between the two. Like in one moment you're playing like to avoid exchanges, then the next minute you're not, and then the next minute you're playing aggressive again. But it seems like now with f5 you weakened your position pretty much. Inconsistency in like really knowing what you're trying to achieve here, because a lot of people don't even consider a draw to be a legitimate result. So thinking about playing for a draw is not a thing, but for me it is. I specialize in draws. Queen f7. Now white just has this nice c file. F4. It didn't happen. Yeah, I don't want to play like Botvinnik here. Very nice play by white, by the way. This is an over-the-board game. So as you can see, the whole f5 just kind of was a fail. The way it went down, it was a fail. It just created weaknesses, and then white just infiltrated. Queen g6. Okay, this is a cool move. Knight b5 wins a piece. He missed it. This is winning a pawn, but not a piece. So winning a piece is better than winning a pawn. You heard it here first. I don't know what queen f3 does. The queen is extremely well placed on d5 in this position. The white just didn't know what to do. No immediate wins. Now we have an interesting endgame. I don't like it. You're down a pawn in an endgame, and I don't think you should trade your bishops off. The bishops are the only thing that's really keeping you alive here. I think you need to keep the bishops on the board and try to trade the knights. You know, you may be able to draw a bishop endgame down a pawn, but there's unlikely you're going to draw a knight endgame down a pawn. So just play g6 and keep the pieces on the board. This is actually not that easy for white to use the doubled pawn. Create, to undouble his doubled pawn. Lichess is one of my knight h6 games in the database. Yeah, I turned it into a c3 Sicilian fuchsia, believe it or not. e4 knight h6 transposed to a c3 Sicilian. Scary and true. Okay. But I was playing more poker than chess those days, so knight h6 is not my most serious opening. Bishop e4 not a good idea. White should exchange. Knight in games, a pawn up are good. He doesn't understand. He's helping you. He does exactly what he shouldn't do. Trade knights in a position where he should trade the bishops. Because the knights lead to Zugzwang, and the extra pawn, really counts when there's Zugzwang. But there's no Zugzwang with the bishops on the board. So this might be holdable for black now. Very, very fundamental mistake by white there. Can he really effectively undouble that pawn? And even if he could, it doesn't guarantee a win. This is good. Actually, you can play a5 on the queen side if you want to. There you go. So, Paschall's learning something from me in the endgame, maybe. You might be able to play f4, but I would probably avoid that. It's actually nice that this bishop keeps an eye on g2. How much did I lose to the slow roller yesterday? The pot with the slow roll, I only lost like $40 or something. It wasn't a big amount of money. I'm gonna say $40. Can we donate that in bits? Picture of teddy bears. Teddy bears are clouding the moves? Oh my god. Teddy bears. Okay, let me explain something to you. This is a teddy bear. Hey, I'm a teddy bear. I'm brown. Those guys are called pandas, and they're black and white. Okay? Anyway, I'm glad that we cleared that up, okay? Wow, 3,001 bits. 3,000. Clash Kid donates for the bad beat. Excuse me, the slow roll pot. That's awesome, Clash Kid. Thank you. Makes me feel better. Way to go, Clash Kid. Up to 4,000. So he compensated for my slow roll pot that I lost yesterday. If we forget the slow roll pot. I had a full house. Full house 7s full of 10s in Omaha. We're going to forget about that now. It was a winner. It should have been a winner. Now it's a winner thanks to Clash Kid. At least it's a split pot. Thanks to Clash Kid. Alright, let's close the chess-based game. Very nice, generous donation from Clash Kid, who's done a lot to support the stream in the past year or two, actually. Almost 2 years of being a subscriber on the stream. Anyway, guys, great job. Bad opening, but great job by Paschall99 saving this. I guess I don't mind b5. As long as you're guaranteed to get b4, that's okay. There it is. It's just a force field. You fixed his pawns, all these pawns on the white squares. This is a fundamental lesson. Maybe he should play like bishop f1 to guard g2. It's a draw. And that's the point about knight endgames and bishop endgames. Bishop endgames can be a draw, pawn down. Knight endgames are usually not. And your opponent didn't understand that. So he's not really a positional wizard. He's not an endgame wizard, that's for sure. So you're going too far here, Paschall. You should be happy that you held a draw. You should be thrilled that you made a draw from a almost lost position. But you're greedy and you're trying to win now. All right. I mean, it's a natural attempt. Is the A pawn too dangerous? This was a greedy move. It almost worked. Always play for the win. Except when it loses. Then you shouldn't play for the win. Surprisingly, this is a strong move. Because his outside pawn is so strong. Wow, we're cutting it close here. I couldn't calculate this. There was no reason to do this to ourselves. Apparently king d6 avoids e4 check, and somehow that would have saved the game. White missed the e4 check, and now it's a draw anyway. Too many pawns spoiled the soup. More pawns on the wrong color. Is this a draw? It's not a lot of pawns left. Black does have the correct rook pawn, though. But it's some weird force field. I guess the point is if the black king tries to get in, then it's like e4, e5, e6, e7, etc. We have 2 pawns, and you can't stop 2 pawns. Clash Kid, thank you, man. Don't worry about the rake. All right. Very generous donation from Clash Kid. Okay, guys, we're running out of time. We have like 40 minutes left. So we got Merle Dixon, Someone Unsound, and Yabadis. And then like Stuk is a maybe, depending on time. Guys, we're doing game submissions. These games have been previously submitted. Merle Dixon. Thanks everybody for being a subscriber, for supporting the stream. Clash Kid, just the beginning of a bit war. No. All right. Where is Merle? There it is. Keep missing it. Dear Master, Chapter 1 of the study is from long ago, when I didn't know any better. I don't want to see a simul game. That's the one I lost, right? I hate looking at my losses. Oh, God. Let's see something new. Crumble versus Stumble. It's hard to decide if Merle is Crumble or Stumble. Merle can let me know. Your 92 opening, like the Alapin opening. Poker Stars. I can play. I won't be able to play. I won't be able to play once I move to the United States back. That's one thing that sucks. But I don't play on Poker Stars anymore. I have an account, but I just kind of hate it in principle. Thankless Poker Stars. They're all my rake. Speaking of rake. Alright, Crumble versus Stumble. E4, E6, D4, D5. What are you here? Stumble. Oh yeah, Merle plays the French. Oh, interesting. So Crumble played the Nibzabich Gambit, for lack of a better name. Good old Stockfish. It's like minus 1.4. Shut up, Stockfish. So, Stockfish is like Alexa. You just have to tell it to shut up sometimes. There's more to life than your over-exaggerated evaluation of Stockfish. Just take every evaluation that Stockfish makes and then cut it in half, and that's probably like the real evaluation. At least it's right about who's better. It's just a little bit exaggerated about how much. I would say it's a half, so you just cut it in half. White is better, or black is better by 0.7 here, using the Stockfish theory. So, this is Nizovich's idea. You like use the e5 pawn as a spatial advantage, and that's why queen g4 is justified. Then black takes, and you play like knight f3, bishop d3. And the double pawns are supposed to just sit there, kind of getting in the way. Well, Emmanuel, it depends on what black's playing. Obviously, you could try to do that setup against everything, but it doesn't work. It's not going to work against everything that black plays. The Sicilian is different than, e4 c5 is different than e4 e5, for example. It's not easy to have like an all, one size fits all system against everything that black can do, Are you talking about a specific opening, like the French, for example? So you see, even Yevgeny played this with white. Johnny Hector, a great player with weird openings, crazy openings. Swedish grandmaster, gambitier, specialist in crazy openings. So bishop d3. The only other idea I could think of might be a3. Like, a3 is a move that could prove useful to stop knight b4, but it also weakens white's queenside. Sorry to rave about white's chances. Now, interestingly, he took my suggestion and played at a3. Yeah, why did you mention Fries Nielsen? Was he in the list? Oh, he is there. And ironically, he's playing against Johnny Hector. Okay. So two crazy opening guys playing in 1991. I was busy partying at college. Okay, knight c6, bishop d3, knight e7, a3. So this is a standard idea to stop knight b4. You played Johnny Hector at the American Legion, Paris, 1984. Bloby, that's awesome. You got the craziest stories. The American Legion. The American Legion, not the French Foreign Legion. The American Legion. Alright. That's cool. 1984. When you were playing that game, Bloby, I was playing in my first unrated tournament and getting knocked out after one game. And going home. So we were both having a chess experience in 1984. Queen c7, going after the pawn. Queen g3. Merle is professional. White is a strong player too, I get the sense. Who's the guy that claimed to play against God and even beat him? Steinitz? What, did he have a dream about God or something? Oh, I know that there was some reference to God playing chess recently. They were saying how God would do against artificial intelligence. God would win every game he plays. It's very simple. They were saying, oh, God's rating would be 3,600. What? Wait, God's rating would be whatever rating you had when you won every single game you played. Like, so you just calculate what's the maximum rating you can have, and it depends on how many games that God plays. I mean, obviously God wins every game, right? God is playing like a demigod. Maybe demigod could get like a draw. How does it work? Anyway, ridiculous concept for some statistician to talk about like what God's rating would be. Like, that's what? What are you talking about? Okay, h4. Oh no. Okay, now Merle is officially in trouble. I think something's gone wrong. Andre Moffat. It's also a... Where is he from? I have a friend who played that guy. Maybe it's a different guy. The name sounds familiar. I don't like this now, suddenly, for black. It's kind of an ideal Nimzovich gambit position. And this looks very artificial. But we got to do what we got to do. When was this played? Any idea? Not in 1919? When Merle was a boy. You gotta do it. Gotta castle queenside. Wow. It's like watching Bronstein play white and black at the same time. It's Bronstein versus Bronstein. Nimzovich versus Bronstein. Knight a5, knight on bd2, and then f5. Taking a page out of Hikaru's book against Ali Raja. Fallujah. We saw that blitz game earlier where Hikaru played f5 in a French. You're always like kind of second guessing this capture, but that's no good because of queen g3. So in this case, f5 is good. Blocking off the king side. White, see, doesn't want the pawn. The pawn is a blocker. Luis Bronstein, I don't think he has a chance against the real Bronstein. God can break the rules. f5. We don't want to open the file, so Merle played g5. Wow. Oh, man. Now I'm starting to like black. Do we have like g4? Where's the knight going? Merle here kept attention. So g4, knight h4, or knight h2? What does the engine say? Doesn't like g4. It likes to grab the bishop. Another approach. I know this is not appropriate now since we're talking about God. But now I'm like, OMG. g4, of course, bishop f4. What else would you play? But no. Stockfish now, knight g6. Of course, it's obvious. Alright, anyway, I'm sorry I asked the computer what to play because these are impossible moves to find. Merle just keeps the tension with h6. I like it, but we've got to find a forward plan because white is obviously encroaching on the queen side. I don't want to stand still here. He did grab the bishop. This is similar to what Stockfish suggested earlier. Now we've got queen c3, maybe bishop e4. That's what he did. The dark squares, sorry, that's a white square. Dark squares look pretty weak. There's the pin. Wow, it was a nice game by black. I'm getting the feeling black's gonna win. Man, those pawns just crush white. Just taking away all the squares, kids. There are no squares. There is the d4 square. This is terrible. White just fell apart. Nice maneuvering. Look at that. Clearance. Bronstein was definitely black in this game. I mentioned Bronstein because he played the French A, and because B, he had an amazing affinity to understand like coordination. But this move was unexpected. I was expecting something trivial like queen b6, basically. Queen b6 looks like a safe move when we need a safe move. If king b8, a5, and I'm a little bit concerned. Bishop e8 is awesome, man. Lasker said about, I think it was Lasker who said about bad pieces that are blocked in. They're like me when I get slow rolled in Omaha poker. The more they get blocked in, the angrier they get. And when they finally break out, they're like super powerful. They're like building up, like, what is it called? Potential energy. I'm big on physics. Not? Okay, never had a good science teacher, unfortunately. d4, queen e2, bishop c3, locked down. Oh my god. Merle took all the squares away from white. White has nothing now. It's like a total beatdown. It looks like something from the most instructive chess games ever played by Chernev. White's like tied into knots. There's that. He's angry now. My son said a funny thing, you know, like when you How does it work? When you have like the highlight turned on, so it shows when you're in check, it makes the king red. It says the king's angry. He said the king's angry when it's red. Anyway, bishop h5, knight c4. A little bit of counterplay finally with some threats here, but it's too slow. God would have the maximum rating, obviously. But I drink for evil. We gotta sack the exchange now? Oh no. I was expecting an exchange sack with rook d6, but I guess that's kind of murky. I'm not really following what happened here. Oh, you're attacking e5. Oh no, what a timely move. It's simply genius. That's so timely. Oops. So hopefully he can attack the bishop at least, so he doesn't lose a clean piece. Queen here, queen here. Then the smoke cleared. We're still not sure quite what's going on. We have the same amount of pieces. Black is up a pawn. And then out of the blue appeared g3. God is playing black. Speaking of God, it was God all along. At 400 you gain no points for winning, is that right? Don't you gain something incremental? You must gain some kind of fraction of points or something at 400. I thought you gained incremental points. There goes the king position. No? That doesn't seem right. Mate and 2. Beautiful. Great game. Aesthetic. Merle is God. That's what we learned from this. He's not a chess engine. He is God. Okay, beautiful game. So Unsound is next, and then Yabatis. Wow. I'm very happy this game is not submitted in a chess-based website. On a chess-based website. Check it out. There it is. All right, that's a little more digestible. The Danish Gambit. No, shield your eyes from the graph. All right, whatever. Guys, we only have like 20 minutes left. I'm going to go over these last two games. The IQP and the Queenless Middle game. I just want to say there's a simul on Sunday. Again, that'll be 6:30 p.m. CEST. In under 3 weeks, I'm moving back to the United States for the summer. So stream times will be changing, like Bob Dylan would say. What else? I want to thank Clash Kid for his generous donation to compensate for my horrible slow roll pot the other day. And anyway, thanks for supporting the stream, Clash Kid, with subscriptions. Jim, Merle Dixon, thank you guys for donating. Again, thanks to Hikaru for donating 5 gift subs the other day. That was crazy. Anyway, we've got 2 games left. And also check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. I will do this game analysis now. Yabatis next. We'll see if we have time. I don't know about Stuck's game. So Spectacular Camel is next. This is somewhat unsound. They both start with S. E45, the Danish Gambit. The cool thing about the Danish Gambit is that it's forced. Okay, C3. I actually have a correspondence game with someone on Sound where I played D5 here for the first time I think I've ever played this. I was taught to like take the pawn on C3, but I thought I'd try something different. So this is actually following that game. But I didn't play queen d5. Didn't I play? I played knight f6 here, which led to an interesting struggle. But I guess this is the money variation for black. Played by Kirill Gergiev. Kirill Gergiev is a very serious guy. In Blitz, he played against me d4, c6. With black, he played d4, c6, c4, b5. Beat me. That was embarrassing. No one ever played that against me. And they never played it again after that. I wasn't happy about that. That was very insulting, Kirill. Whatever that is, don't do that again. Alright, so queen takes d5. You got to do something better than queen takes d4 here, but it's instructive. This is, someone on sound probably knows that this isn't a good move, but he did it for the sake of the stream. Semyon Palatnik. I have stories about everybody. I played Palatnik twice in the same tournament once. Very strange story. I don't have time to tell the whole story now, but it was like 1990. I want to say 1993, and I played Palatnik twice in the same tournament in a Swiss system. You ask yourselves, how can that happen? All right, and we played the same colors, and he beat me the first time. He was white both games. He beat me the first time, and I drew the second one, and we played the same opening twice. So that was pretty cool. It was like a mini match. Very strange happening. It wasn't really correct. That shouldn't have, I shouldn't have to play the same Grandmaster with the same color with black twice. Joanna tries his rating with a party of 32. Mr. Coffee. Joanna tries. That's awesome. So 32. We don't have enough chairs for that many people. What's up? Pepe Lou and Joanna Tries are here. We're just wrapping up. I've got a couple games we're going to analyze. This game and one more. Thank you for just joining the chat, guys. Unfortunately, I'm hitting the bricks in like 20 minutes, but that's cool. Love you guys. Thank you for joining. This is a game analysis for the last 2 subscribers on my subscriber stream. Someone on sound is white, and we're going to see something like you shouldn't do here. So to answer Mr. Coffee's question, though, how do you play the same Grandmaster with the same colors in the same tournament? Right. It was a re-entry. I lost to Palatnik in the first round of the tournament because I was drunk, and I wasn't planning on playing a Grandmaster, so I spent the afternoon drinking, thinking I was going to play like a 1900. Not the first time I've done this. Then there wasn't enough players, and I like got paired with the #1 seed or something. And then I lost, and then I was allowed to re-enter the tournament, and then I got paired with him again the next day with the same colors. I was like, what is going on? That was crazy. Get a lot of being drunk and losing. Don't do it. Every time I do that, like, I think I'm going to a tournament. I'm one of the higher rated players. It's the first round. I'm there early. Let's start drinking. We're playing a 1900 in the first game. And then, oh, there's not enough players. You're playing like the #1 seed. Oh, great. So, better not to drink before the games. But anyway, thanks to you guys for rating. Joanna Tries and Pepe are both streamers. Friday night, I don't normally stream on Friday nights, so it's kind of, this is a very unusual thing for me. My Thursday is my Friday, and my Friday is my Thursday today. I had to actually move my streams. That's why I'm here tonight. Normally I wouldn't be. Anyway, so let's get to business. So queen takes d4, cd4, and now knight f6. This is a great position for black, obviously. Freedom of movement. Bad pawn on d4. I don't know. This just looks good. Black should be at least equal here. If Stockfish says it's 0.3, then it's like 0.1, then it's like 0.15. In reality, we use our formula to calculate proper Stockfish evaluations. Half of what it says is probably correct. So really, black is better by 0.15. In reality, allows people who get a slow start to have another chance. They actually stopped doing that in open sections of American tournaments. They stopped allowing like re-entries. There was a FIDE scandal about it. So it happened before they made this rule that you can't re-enter in the open sections. So it was cool. I have a funny story to write about Sunday. I'm ready to write my memoirs. Semyon Palatnik got to play me twice with white in the same tournament. The same opening. And I remember the second game, I was there, and it was a king and pawn endgame, and I thought I was losing. But Josh Whiteskin of Bobby Searching for Bobby Fischer fame was like in the tournament. And this was a messed up story, actually. I ended up winning the tournament. I ended up tying for first. Winning the tournament after losing to Palatnik almost twice, but only once. And Josh Whiteskin helped me because I was sitting there in this king and pawn game thinking I was lost. And Josh was there. It was like late at night, and he was like staring at the board, and he wouldn't, he didn't give me any like signal or something, but like he was so interested in the game. I was like, okay, there has to be a way to save the position. Why would Josh be like standing there staring at the board for so long if I'm lost? No, this was in Syracuse, New York, in like 1993. I basically was like thinking I was dead, and I was sitting there thinking, and Whiteskin like wouldn't leave. He was like waiting for me to see the right move or something. So eventually it was like a tell. I basically figured out that I couldn't be losing, because why would Whiteskin like be staring at the position for so long? So it was funny. Anyway, guys, this is one of our last two games for today. Bishop b5, bishop d7, knight f3. So what's the exercise here? Someone on sound. You obviously realize that this isn't really good for white. Foxwoods, no, I won the Foxwoods tournament. That was my best result ever, but this is way before that. This was like in the early 90s. Yeah, it was the US Class Championship, like 1993, and I tied for first with probably Palatnik after playing him twice, and a couple other players. I don't remember who else. Whiteskin, I think, actually tied for first too, because Whiteskin beat like Yermolinsky in the last round. That was a long time ago, kids. I was just a baby. So, thanks, Josh. I owe you one. They also falsely like gave me credit for beating Yermolinsky. The Whiteskin win against Yermolinsky was later published as a win for me against Yermolinsky, but I didn't even play Yermolinsky. So everybody thinks I'm like +3 against Yermo, but I'm only +2. I've only beaten him, I don't know, twice, not 3 times. Anyway, reminiscing. I'm drunk now after one beer. It's too much for me on a Friday night. A6, what's going on? Bishop takes, knight e5, bishop e8. I think Steinitz is playing black here. Bishop e3. I'm expecting rook here next. Spectacular Camel. I'm saying saving the best for last, absolutely. There is a Foxwoods tournament coming up. It's a really good open tournament. I'm a defending champion, my best result ever. I guess it's this weekend. Actually, it's going on now. I guess it's going on now. Obviously, I missed it. But I get distracted when I go to Foxwoods, because then I end up like resigning against Kamsky when I lose a pawn and just offering draws to everybody so I can like go and play poker. It's not really the best. Anyway, let's see. Rook d5, rook c1, f6. So what is the deal here, someone on sound? You did this as an experiment to see like if you could defend a bad position or something like that? Like you obviously know this. You love the pandas. Yeah, we had an earlier player stop by who he basically called them teddy bears. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That isn't, what do you mean? This is a teddy bear. Hello. I'm a teddy bear, all right? I'm not a panda. Pandas are not teddy bears. So we explained it to him very simply, the difference between a panda and a teddy bear. Anyway, great entertainment here. King b8, bishop f4 is coming next. Rook fd1. Black played really well in this game, by the way. Now you're holding. And this is kind of like almost like a implicit offer of a draw. Although I don't think I would want to I don't think I'd want to play Magnus with white here. After knight takes d6, rook d6, bishop f4, rook d7. Probably white is still, actually that almost wins a piece for white. So you didn't play knight takes d6. You must have been tempted to play knight takes d6 here. Yeah, I usually do the subscriber stream once a week. We don't do this for most of my streams. I'm playing Blitz or, you know, just different stuff. I have a Simul on Sunday. We do a tournament on Tuesday. But seriously, here's someone on sound. I mean, okay. I guess there's some technical questions about this position, like a4, bishop c6, d5. Can we hold that draw? But there's also bishop e2, and that seems to escape. The bishop e2 move escapes out the side hatch, and we end up probably with a decent position here, though. I think it's okay for white. Look, too much like it's a little late to be playing for a win, someone on sound. Like, you should probably go back to move like, seriously, you should probably go back to move 5. Like, if you wanted to play for a win, then I think queen takes d4 is Adolf Herzog. Is Clash Kid still here? That guy I played, he's from Austria. I beat him. I've got stories for everything. But he was really angry when he lost after the game. This like Austrian I am. But the thing was, like, he had a bad position the whole game. I can understand if you like had a good position and you blundered and then got mad, but like to get mad when you were like outplayed the whole game, it seemed always a little bit strange. Some people just can't accept losing. All right, let's go. Anyway, we're almost at the end of the stream, guys. It's martini time. But someone on sound, you understand my point. Like, I think it's late to be playing for a win here. Nefidov, what? Oh, he loves to submit the games. Yeah, it's too late to play for a win. Anyways, so you do 96 next move. You did it anyway. There goes that argument. Now the bishop has an escape hatch here. Oh, f4. No, 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 no. Someone on sound, do not put your pawns on the same color as your bishop. Plus you need white square control because you don't have a white square bishop. The pawns and the bishop must complement one another. So you want to put the pawns on white squares and keep your bishop clear. And that will also help protect you against things like bishop c6 and rook g5. f4 is a very bad move for white in this position. It serves two negative purposes: to weaken your white squares and to block your bishop on e3. Now this is a very serious mistake. f3, on the other hand, is like a really good move. Secures the white squares, gives you a king, you know, advancement to f2. f4 is really bad. I'm very disappointed in you, someone on sound. You know better than f4. King f2, h5, and now g4. Well, at least he's putting it on the right color. Now we can play f5, but then are we overextended? Take, rook g4, attacking this. But now you've got your pawns finally. It was all a trick to get them to f5. He wanted space. Black went crazy. What do we do? Take with the king? Oh, the in-between move. Brilliant. And now the engine says king c8, of course. Everybody just automatically plays king c8. Would Hikaru find that move against Alireza in a blitz game? I don't know. King a8, the human move, and then rook e1. And suddenly, someone on sound looks like a genius. But to be fair, black kind of crumbled in a series of moves very quickly there. But I'll give you credit for being opportunistic, someone on sound. So f4, you were slightly worse, and then suddenly, actually, he played rook e7, king f2. I liked h5. Well, I mean, this was very careless by black to, I mean, to play like g6 here is crazy. You know, it's nothing short of crazy. But he's got to watch out for c7. All right. Nice job coming back from the jaws of defeat. Outside pawn. So we get some instructive endgame teachings from someone on sound. The power of the outside pawn in the endgame. Uh-oh. There is also back rank mate. Thus, the importance of king a8 rather than king c8. Here, 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 here. Oh no. Bill. That's mean. You know, he's expecting king f4, and you just like offer a trade of rooks. Just totally dissing him. Talk about a slow roll. That's a slow roll. You're like, I'm going to beat you even if you trade rooks into an equal pawn opposite color bishop endgame. Oh my god. That's just mean. Look, no king. We get the king. We got to watch the f pawn. Are we cutting it close here? Plus 9. That means it's plus 4.5.5. Plus 4.55. King, yeah, what's this? Oh, you dropped your H pawn? Good job. This is why someone on sound isn't 2100. Because he does things like this. Otherwise he would be 2100 instead of 1815. So, obviously H6 was winning. What's the evaluation here? Amazingly, this may be a draw. Yeah, in order to play h5, you had to bring your king away. And now he can actually get over here and create a white square blockade. And it's a draw. Check. And king g8. This is a draw. This is a draw. This is a draw. Draw. Okay, kids. The good thing you're not playing Oleg Krivonosov. You'd be playing for a win with black here. All right, last game for today, guys. I don't have time for the Stuk, unfortunately, Stuk. I'm going to do Yabatis. We took a little too long with our games. The Mexican defense. Mexican border. Defending the Mexican border with the border defense. Here is someone on sound with 100 bits. Thank you, sir. Yabatis. Mexican defense. It's not a Mexican defense. Oh, my bad. I'm in the wrong game. Maybe it is a Mexican. All right, maybe we're in the wrong game, maybe not. Let's see. The link should be to the correct chapter. I just played this game today. All right, hopefully. Is it a Mexican? Is it played today? It is played today. Do you know the online handle of the slow roller? The online handle. No, this guy is... He's just a live fish. He's a live poker fish. D4, knight c6, e4, e5. Allergic cough coming back. We'll be alright. Got the all clear from the hospital. Just allergies. I love this opening. I love this opening. The Mexican. So d5 is probably what I would play with white, though. I think you ought to try. Better than a dead poker fish. Better than a piranha in like a British lake or whatever. D4, knight c6, e4, e5, d5, knight c e7, c4. So the c4. You know, I like DE, and I've played several games here on my stream with this line. Tate takes an f4. I think this is a really good way for white to try to play for a win. For some reason, knight f3 is the main move. I guess that's good too. There's this like weird line Miles used to play. I guess like bishop b4 check, c3. But this is kind of weird. Kudrin against Miles. Hildardo against Miles. Tipse against Miles. That's interesting. But I don't know. I like f4 better, honestly. Vadim. So, anyways, this guy played d5. This is another line. What should white do? h4. Barlyanis against Anthony Miles. Slovenian maestro. I think Barl is just an IM, but a strong one, or was. Not easy to take out Tony, but Ponda here, I think would appreciate this move. I think this is a good move. Yeah, that's my favorite move. That's why I'm the h4 panda. Yeah, that's it. Nice move. Taking out Tony Miles. Alright. Panda, just stay there. Don't get too excited. The h4. h4 panda. Where is the panda? See? If you guys subscribe to a tier 3 subscription, you can get an h4 panda emote too. Preempting the knight g6, guys. We'll see you there. I'll be there, as Miles would say. I'll be there yesterday. Today is yesterday, and tomorrow is today. That's the way it works with Thursdays and Fridays. No, I'm not crazy. There's a meaning to all these riddles. Anyway, c4 I don't really like. Yeah, as soon as you get in bishop c5, you're golden, and that's where Ubatis is here. Golden. Bad bishop. Good play against f2. Okay, he's trying to shut down the f5 break. So this player played a6, which is logical to give the bishop retreat square. Ubatis played the Nimzo like h6 to play knight h7, knight g5, like a Hübner Nimzo. This looks familiar and similar to another game you played, Ubatis. Now we have to play bishop b6. Is the bishop worth more than a knight or not? Probably it was. But white's bishops shouldn't be overvalued in this kind of locked structure. It is straight up like a Hübner Nimzo, if you know what that is. a4 is an interesting move, and it gives him like defensive possibilities with rook a3. Not sure if white's advanced enough to understand that. Heading for f4. We also have to consider knight h7, as I mentioned, as an alternative. Obviously, white can play g3. And on bishop g4, you have bishop e2. So I kind of like white after that. The knight on h5 looks a little bit suspicious. Let's see what the oracle says. The oracle says it's still equal. Then maybe bishop g4 is just not a good move if bishop e2 answers it. The oracle says it's even. Even Steven. So h6 was of course it was prophylaxis. 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 Prophylaxis? Is that what I said? Always use prophylaxis. Alright. Well, this is my line. Okay, bishop c2. Say what? Master played what? Bishop c2? Wait, make your bishops great again. It's a MAGA bishop. Mother of MAGA bishops. Bishop c2. That is exceedingly deep. Wow. I think that's an amazing move. That's the most brilliant move I saw today. Alright, we're going to stop, but it's the Mexican defense, so we have to make Trump jokes. Come on. How can I not make Trump jokes in a Mexican defense? The border wall. We have the whole theme going. Anyway, I mean, this move deserves to have jokes made about it. I mean, bishop c2 is seriously weird. Is he trying to play queen d3? I can't even imagine what it's about. Defending the a2 pawn? Now we're in there. White should have played g3. Too late now. Whoa. And aren't you glad you played bishop d3? I mean c2, whatever. The dude might have rook a3 now with lateral defense. Is this sound? Mexican defense is not financed. The Mexican defense is not a sponsor of this channel. Well, the guy says, all right, so the point is rook a3. OMG. He didn't know about rook a3. I knew he wouldn't see that. I thought this is all the deep reason why he played a4 before. Because he knew about rook a3. Essentially the river guarding rook. Borrowed from Chinese chess. I don't know how to play Chinese chess, but I know that's a river guarding rook. I know a river guarding rook when I see one. And that is a river guarding rook. Does that save white here? Black is a full piece down. Is black a full piece down? Is that a piece on c2? What do you guys think? Is that a piece or a pawn? Just a random move expanding the queen side. Seriously, what's going on here? Oracle. Yes! Rook a3 wins. Rook a3 wins. And the space is just too much. So essentially a4 was the winning move. And Yabatis just walked into his sly trap, overlooking rook a3. I knew this would play a role in the game. Refutes Yabatis' whole sacrifice. But he missed it. I think that's like a border guard. That's customs and immigration. But they were sleeping and eating donuts when they're supposed to be going to a3. Oh my god. Oh no, Lanchester's challenging. We'll have to finish up. Oh no, he's gone. He's challenging. Alright. Now it's over. It looks like it's over now. Sacked his queen. We'll have to end the stream with a 3-0 game against Grandmaster Lanchester. Just for fun. Yabatis gave him way too much play here, by the way. That was out of control. Anyway. It's enough to win. Alright, let's just for fun play this game. Whoever Lanchester is. He likes to have fun. I'm not going to play b4 against him. He challenged the vast majority of streamers. It's cool. Last time I played the ridiculous opening, like the Polish, because it was Weird Wednesday. Yeah, the rook a3 was awesome. Check. Just kidding. I thought he was going to play bishop b4. I don't know anything about him, but I'm pre-moving. I don't know who this guy is. He's human. I know that. I played horribly against another day, though. I don't know what to do here. This is lame, though. He's really solid, whoever he is. Like, frustratingly so. I should have played rook e1 last move. I saw he did some really messed up stuff, like he like lost in 2 moves, allowing mate. I don't know if he drinks when he plays, or he just likes to have fun and make fun of himself, but he's still pretty decently rated, 2749. It's a casual game. I think he just likes to have fun. I don't know who it is. There's no clue. No clue who this is. Just a random grandmaster who likes to have fun, I guess. Bonus game. But the significance of the name Lanchester is kind of lost on us. We don't really know what that means, you know? Is there a team? Like, does anybody know essentially what the meaning of this name is? This guy is a seriously solid player. Yeah, it's a place in the UK, but he lives in the US outlying minor islands, according to the chat there. Now what did I do? Now I've done it. This is starting to look like one of the games of one of my students today. Oh my god, I'm playing just like my own student, who I didn't like the way he played, ironically. Learning from my students. Sometimes it's a good thing. In this case, it wasn't a good thing. course, it's like 3-0. It's sort of not real chess, basically. You heard it first here. He's starting to invade, so we need a square for the knight. That's enough, Lanchester. Coming. He's extremely solid. Black is probably slightly better here. Queenside majority, control the C file. It's like I drew a parallel to Saruman when I played this guy, and I'm sticking with my stylistic evaluation. I don't think it's Saruman, but he plays a similar style. Could be Yasser. Totally positional. There it is. Very annoying. He's obviously going to like lose on time in a 3-0 game. But I mean, I don't normally play for the clock. Tactics don't work. I can't avoid an exchange of queens. Queen is misplaced. I'm going to have to resort to like winning on time, which is not really my usual thing. He's going to want to play more, but I got to go, guys. I'm going to flag the Grandmaster and then let me offer him a draw. Just don't want to win on time. It's actually hard to win this position. Anyway, thanks for the game, dude. I got to go. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. 3-0, not my thing. I will see you guys later. I need to practice my 3-0. So we did a good job not losing that game. I don't deserve to win. Anyway, guys, we're going to be back on Sunday with a simul against 25 players at 6:30 p.m. CEST. You're welcome for the show, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Sunday. From the Panda and everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for subscribing. We love you all.